The stadium lights burned brightly, washing the arena in a glow so intense that every shadow seemed to vanish. The sound of thousands of voices rolled like a storm across the seats, cheers, shouts, chants, and the endless hum of anticipation. Everyone was waiting, everyone wanted to see a fight that would be remembered. And yet, behind all this noise, there was a quiet room. A small locker space where time seemed to move slower, where the air carried the weight of breath and nerves rather than the roar of the crowd. Elena sat there alone, tying the straps of her gloves with hands that trembled ever so slightly. Her chest rose and fell in steady but shallow breaths. Sweat already clung to her forehead, not from exertion, but from the tension of what lay ahead. She stared at her own reflection in the cracked mirror in front of her. Her lips were dry, her expression calm, but her eyes burned with something deeper, determination. She whispered to herself, as if to remind her body of what her heart already knew. This is not just a fight, this is everything I've worked for. This is the dream. Elena's journey had never been ordinary. While other children in her neighborhood spent their afternoons chasing games, drawing, or writing secrets in journals, Elena spent hers in a small, run-down gym beside her older brother. That gym smelled of sweat and effort. Punching bags swung and creaked, gloves thudded against pads, coaches shouted orders, and boys laughed and sparred. For Elena, all of it was music, raw, powerful music that stirred her soul. But no one else believed in her. Girls don't fight in the ring, they said. This sport isn't made for you. You'll break before you make it. Those words hit her like stones, leaving invisible bruises. Yet each cut, each doubt, each sneer only made her stronger. Her mother's voice was the only one that offered warmth. Elena, she would say, this road will be hard. People will laugh, people will try to stop you. But if your heart has strength, then one day, you'll show the world that a girl can be a warrior. Those words became Elena's fuel. Tonight, those words echoed louder than ever. Because tonight, she stood at the very edge of her dream. It was the night of the World Championship final. And her opponent was none other than Vera Korsic, the reigning queen of the sport, a fighter feared across the globe. Vera's reputation was a fortress. Tall, powerful, her strikes like steel hammers, her presence in the ring so dominant that people called her unbreakable. When the brackets revealed that Elena would face Vera in the finals, most people laughed. Elena doesn't stand a chance. She'll be crushed in minutes. This is no fight, it's a mismatch. And those words had followed Elena all the way to this night. A knock came at the door. Her coach leaned inside, his voice calm but firm. Elena, it's time. She stood, inhaled deeply, and walked slowly toward the arena's entrance. The moment the spotlight struck her, the stadium erupted. The noise was deafening. Some clapped, some cheered, but most watched with skeptical eyes. To them, she was not a threat, just another name, another underdog about to fall. But Elena's steps were steady. Her heart pounded hard, but her gaze was unshaken. She climbed into the ring, feeling the canvas beneath her feet, the ropes around her, the pressure of history waiting to unfold. Across from her stood Vera. Towering, confident, her muscles tight as stone. She gave Elena a look filled with mockery and the slightest smirk. Are you ready? This is no game for children, Vera said. Elena lowered her eyes, adjusting her gloves. She didn't answer. Her silence was her answer. The ring would speak for her. The bell rang. Round 1 began. Vera came forward like a storm, her fists heavy and relentless. Her strikes slammed into Elena's guard, her kicks snapped like whips, and every impact echoed through the arena. Elena staggered under the weight of it, barely holding her ground. Each punch rattled her bones. The crowd shouted wildly, convinced it would be over in minutes. But Elena did not fall. She absorbed, she endured, she moved just enough to keep standing. Inside her head, her mother's voice whispered again. Falling is not the end, the real fight is in getting back up. When the first round ended, Elena stumbled back to her corner, her arms sore, her ribs aching. Her coach pressed a bottle of water to her lips. His words were soft but sharp. Don't let her size scare you. She's strong, yes, but you are faster. Trust your movement, trust your heart. The second round began. This time, Elena didn't charge forward. She circled, light on her feet, eyes sharp. Vera swung again, heavy and wild, but Elena slipped past the blows. She let Vera chase, let her anger fuel her speed. And then, an opening. Vera missed a strike by inches, and Elena countered with a swift punch to her opponent's jaw. It landed clean. The sound cracked across the arena. The crowd gasped. Elena landed a strike. Vera's expression flickered. Surprise, for the very first time. Elena felt it. A spark of hope. The rhythm of the fight was shifting. Dash dash dash. Round after round, the battle continued. Vera remained a wall of power, her attacks unrelenting. But Elena, though battered, was not broken. She weaved, dodged, and waited. Every time she struck, it was small, precise, calculated. And slowly, the impossible began to happen. Vera was tiring. Her punches grew slower, her guard slipped a little lower. The final round arrived. Both fighters stood drenched in sweat, their breaths ragged, their eyes locked in a storm of willpower. The stadium was silent now, every spectator hanging on to the moment. Vera, desperate to end it, unleashed her full force. She swung, her strike tearing through the air. But Elena, with a heart sharpened by years of doubt and dreams, slipped past it. In one swift, electric moment, Elena countered with all the speed and strength left in her. Her punch landed directly on Vera's jaw. The crowd froze. Vera staggered, her body faltering, and then, she fell. Dash dash dash. The referee began the count. 1, 2, 3. Vera struggled, tried to rise, but her body betrayed her. 8, 9, 10. The bell rang. The referee grabbed Elena's hand and raised it high. Winner, by knockout, Elena Ivanova. The stadium exploded into roars of disbelief and awe. Cameras flashed, voices screamed. People rose to their feet, clapping, shouting, celebrating. The girl they doubted, the fighter they dismissed, was now the champion of the world. Dash dash dash. Elena dropped to her knees, gasping for air, her body trembling from exhaustion. Tears filled her eyes, spilling down her cheeks. They weren't tears of pain. They were tears of victory, of survival, of proving herself against all odds. Vera approached slowly, her pride wounded but her spirit still strong. She extended her hand toward Elena, her voice steady though low. Tonight, you proved it. True strength is not just in power, it's in the heart. Elena took her hand, still breathless. Her voice cracked, but her words were clear. This wasn't just my dream. This was for every girl who was told she couldn't. Tonight, we proved them wrong. Dash dash dash. The stadium kept roaring, but to Elena, it all faded into a quiet hum. Her world, in that moment, was still. She had done it. She had kept her promise to herself, to her mother, to every moment of struggle that had built her into the woman she was. That night, history was written. A new champion was born, and the world learned something unforgettable. Strength is not just in muscle, not just in power, but in dreams, in courage, and in the unshakable will to rise again.